That night, Esfrost invades Glenbrook without warning. The attack is all the more shocking, coming on the eve of the two nations' grand new mining venture. The Duchy easily rushes into the Crown City, taking advantage of Glenbrook's unprepared defenses. Caught unawares by the sudden assault, Glenbrook's scattered forces can do nothing to fend off the invaders. Serenoa and his retinue rush from the mines to King Regnar's aid, slipping past the siege into Whiteholm Castle via the secret passage, known only to Prince Roland.
Chapter 5, Encroaching Darkness.
Hold strong! Don't let them get to the castle! Aye, sir!
That armor! The Black Irons! Esfrost! Esfrost is attacking! What? Why does the Duchy march against us? This is a flagrant breach of the treaty. Levy a complaint against Archduke Gustadolf immediately.
I fear we're past the time for formal complaints, Your Highness. We can hold them no longer. We must inform His Majesty at once.
Of course. My father and Cordelia must be protected at all costs.
Esfrost invaded the Crown City by night! Preposterous! Gustadolf, what is that bastard scheming?
Lord Simon, I bring word from King Regnar. He says, should the crown fall, Glenbrook is in your hands.
Your Majesty. Fetch my armor! I march to the Crown's aid!
Please, my lord, at least wait for Lord Serenoa and his retinue to return.
Out of my way! I pledge my loyalty to His Majesty, and it's a vow I intend to...
Your heart, my lord! Summon a healer, quickly!
Damn it! Death cannot take me yet. Serenoa, Benedict.
Character stories. Character stories are now available on the world map. View them to rally new allies to your cause or learn more about those who have already joined you. The characters rallied to your cause are influenced by Serenoa's conviction. The strength of your bond with an ally depends on the number of times that character has been deployed in battle. Some character stories may not be available right away depending on your progress in the main story. Well, this game just keeps getting darker and darker and darker. Hey guys, it's Skymer here, and welcome back to another episode of Triangle Strategy. In the last episode, we battled at the Grand Norzelian Mines, and we managed to do that battle pretty well. I was proud of myself until Talus decided to be an asshole. A very creepy, psychopathic, sociopathic idiot. And he planned an assassination of Lord Dragan that was fully successful, unfortunately, leaving Frederica in tears. But that sadness could not be long-lived, as eventually Whiteholm Castle is almost immediately attacked the next thing, and Frederica just has to swallow her tears and say, you know what? I'm just going to just go with the plan of... That was not actually a plan, but, you know, whatever. And it looks like now Whiteholm Castle is in disaster, and we need to figure out how to respond to this. So a battle is definitely coming close. Anyway, we have now character stories available, which is very interesting. A serious... Okay, so we have these two. A serious-looking youth with a thoughtful demeanor comes to Serenoa and company with news from the Crown City. A boy in strange garb comes to speak with Serenoa, claiming to be the grandson of the Archmage Grandante. Interesting. I feel like we want to do these right away, and then we can do the green side story up there. So let's hop in. I want to see what new characters we're going to get.
Thank you for agreeing to see me. My name is Julio.
The minister's aide, Julio Reitman. Once an officer in service to the crown, Patriat recruited him as an assistant upon learning of his clerical abilities. Are we getting another healer?
So, you're looking to pledge your service to us, eh? They tell me you're from the Crown City. Something happened to drive you our way?
I'm afraid so.
Shortly before Esfrost's attack on Whiteholm Castle.
Why have you brought me all the way to this place? Whatever it is you wish to speak about, I should hope it is important. I am a busy man.
It is indeed. It concerns the Grand Norzellian mining venture. Pardon me if I'm being presumptuous, but I came across a most curious thing when I was reviewing the particulars of the arrangement the other day. There were documents that I did not recall having seen before. Specifically, documents pertaining to the compensation of the workers contracted to transport the iron out of the mine.
Is that so?
Following the paper trail, I could not help but notice that a not insignificant amount of coin had made its way through paths most circuitous and befuddling into your hands. Something easily overlooked at a glance, but my eyes are sharper than most. No doubt you have a logical explanation for this?
I haven't need to explain it. Even if I were guilty of whatever it is you have the gall to accuse me of, there is naught you can do about it. All that I have done with Prince Franny's full backing.
You would claim that His Highness is complicit in this?
The high and mighty are always scratching each other's backs. Everyone knows that. Everyone, it would seem, but you.
To think the Crown Prince would be party to such corruption. Has our kingdom truly sunk so low?
It would fall on your head should word of this get out. Considering the nature of the crime, I shudder to think of the punishment. Luckily for you, I've every intention of keeping this matter between us, so long as you don't go running your mouth. Why, I'll even toss in some coin to sweeten the deal. A fair enough bargain, wouldn't you say?
Coin? I spit on your coin. I will not remain silent. I cannot. I will root out the rot of corruption that plagues our realm, no matter what it may cost me.
You stubborn, self-righteous fool! I'd hoped to settle this as reasonable adults, but it would seem that...
Sound the alarm! The kingdom is under attack! Esfrost strikes!
What's this?
Needless to say, the circumstances make my return to the Crown City impossible. Pray allow me to be of service here.
Ah, now it's coming back to me. You were Sir Maxwell's second-in-command during the tourney, weren't you? You didn't stand out much, but you held your own well enough. Aye, I reckon we could find use for him yet.
Very well then. Be welcome among us. Eridor, see that our new friend gets settled in.
Thank you, my lord. You have my word that I will serve you well.
Julio's aptitudes in battle, a master of tactics and TP. Grants TP to allies. What? And lowers the TP of enemies? No. That's really good. Speaking of not good, Patriot and Prince Franny are potentially responsible for this invasion? Because of what? Money? Power? What is this? Just because you're freaking crazy in the head? I am livid. Patriot was the person that came up to Serenoa talking about how amazing Glenbrook was, saying that there was no problems involved. He is a freaking snake. There is no denying that. What a toxic, manipulative, money-grubbing little asshole. Oh, man. You know what? And when Julio just went up to him and just said, "Coin, I spit on your coin," I was like, yeah, you go get him. I am livid right now. Imagine when Roland finds out about this. I bet he's going to be happy that he went out gallivanting, that his father was so upset about. Not to say that I think that his father's involved. It's just the factor that Prince Franny is doing some horrible things to get in service of this crown, which makes me think that his father's involved in stuff because he always is talking about him. Oh, whatever. Such a foolish person. Okay, let's go to see our other guy, and then we'll go ahead and see the details of these units.
Halt! This is the encampment of House Wolfort.
Splendid! For it's Lord Wolfort himself that I came to see. Lead me to him, my good man.
Big words from a shady-looking fellow in that ridiculous garb. Be gone at once.
Ridiculous. Why, I'll have you know that these robes are a treasured relic of...
Did I ask about your robes? I said, be gone.
Wait, I say! Hold there! Lord Wolfort! Can you hear me?
What's all the commotion here? This strange lad demands an audience with you, Lord Serenoa, and stubbornly refuses to leave.
The name's Narv.
Grandson of the Archmage Grandante, Narv Oparin. A young man who calls himself the grandson and last disciple of the Archmage Grandante. He has joined House Wolfort in hopes of restoring his late grandfather's honor. He definitely looks like a mage to me. I will never deny another mage in the party.
Grandson and last disciple of the Archmage Grandante, here to offer my services.
The Archmage Grandante? Forgive me, but in all my years of studying the arcane arts, I've never once heard that name.
You haven't? Oh, I see. I suppose you won't have.
Ah, I'm sorry if I offended you.
You needn't apologize, miss. Let's start over, shall we? Let me show you just what the final disciple of the Archmage Grandante can do.
Incredible.
Well, what do you think?
I've never seen anything quite like it. Were you born with magic like this? Or perhaps...
My illustrious grandfather, the Archmage Grandante, that is, taught me all I know. Please, let me join your army. I'm most certain my sorcery could avail you to no end.
Lord Serenoa, this boy possesses remarkable talent. I must admit, he would make a formidable addition to our forces.
Thank you, Jila. Narv, I welcome you to House Wolfort.
Thank you, my lord. My magic will change the world. Just you wait and see.
Narv's aptitudes in battle, a versatile mage and master of the elements. Cast spells of every element? and change enemies' orientation with wind magic. What? This is awesome. I love how happy that I sound after these clips are going off and everything, and then, like, it just has, like, this very, like, daunting music just playing in the background, and I'm like, oh, yeah, we have, like, battles commencing soon. Yeah, that's occurring, too. So, let's head back to the encampment, and let's check out these guys. Oh, I'm excited. So these are based off of the strength of your convictions. Very interesting. Let's go ahead and talk to Narv first. This guy is a character. I'm gonna love him. Ah, Lord Serenoa. I cannot thank you enough for letting me join your house after all that shouting I did. I was able to talk to a lot of different people here, and it made me realize that none of them have ever heard my grandfather's name. That's why I'll work harder than I ever have before. Then everyone in Norzelia will have to acknowledge his name. They won't say your name? As the last disciple of the Archmage Grandante, I swear it. I just wonder if he's a little, loopy in the head. But you know what? I'm a little weird in the head too, so it's fine. Thank you for allowing me into your service, Lord Serenoa. I cannot help but wonder what would have become of me had the duchy not attacked. I do not think I could have found the strength to do what I believed to be right if I had remained in the Crown City. This war has changed everything for me. I swear I shall endeavor to make House Wolfort proud. You know, so he just feels betrayed, because it was interesting that large sums of coin were going into, you know, the funds for the miners and everything, and there was a lot of money and contracts involved, and it's just awful. You know, I mean, I know that this is probably how it was in medieval times in history, that people of power would either become greedy or corrupted based on their position, and they either wanted more or they did evil with the stuff they had. And that was always the biggest issue, because people wanted to overthrow each other, people wanted to kill each other, people wanted different rights, different leadership, you know, stuff like that, or they were angry about something that happened to their family, they weren't being treated right, the list goes on and on. It's just the factor that, you know, I'm just happy that Julio really stood up for himself, and this guy is just great. I love his personality. It's just wonderful. Okay, so they start off at level 5. I was a little bit worried that he was gonna, I'm sorry, does he have 4 TP? They both do. What? Okay, I'm not mad. Okay, so he has the curved blade. He has 10 strength. Wow. That's the same as Arador. Jeez Louise. This guy is strong. Accuracy of 10, that's really good, so he's very accurate in attacking. Moment of Truth. Grant 1 TP to an ally and raise their strength and magic for 3 turns. And a skill called Not On My Watch. Deal physical damage to a single enemy and decrease their TP by 1. This would be incredible against mages, because just being able to make them last even a shorter amount, last a longer amount of time before they can cast their next spell, that could be game-changing. That's amazing. And he also has these skills coming up: KO TP+, Finish Them, TP Barrier, and Best Regards. That just sounds badass. Best Regards. Bye! Wow, and then we have Narv here, the Sage, with an Oak Rod. And Whirlwind, it has only 1 to 3 range, so fire and ice magic in this game have 1 to 4 range, but wind magic has 1 to 3. Deal wind-type magic damage to all enemies within range and change the direction they face. And Sanctuary, I'm pretty sure, is Gila's skill that she gets eventually. So that skill is grant HP to all allies within range? Okay, so it's like a frickin' Fortify staff, just much smaller range. Dang, this guy's really good. Holy cannoli with that one. Wow, these 2 units are actually insane. Wow. Okay, Yeah, are there any additional battles for me, by the way? Yes, we do. So I will have to do that before the next chapter. So I'm thinking what I'm gonna do right now, because I have quite a lot of QP for kudos and stuff. So I'm thinking I will get a QP skill here. The one that I'm thinking of getting right now is gonna be In Tandem. I feel like In Tandem is gonna be good. You move an ally's turn to directly after your own. I feel like this could come in really big handy at times. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm not really for sure how they're gonna work, but regardless, I think we are going to go into our notes really quick, and we're going to do our story time for the day. And I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna go over the Salt Iron War. We're upon dark times, so I feel like learning the history of what happened 30 years ago in this game is gonna be really useful. The Salt Iron War, one of the fiercest wars raged in the realm of Norzelia, can be roughly divided into 3 periods. Before its onset, the Grand Duchy of Esfrost secretly contacted the Kingdom of Glenbrook and asked for an alliance to break Hyzant's monopoly over salt. Glenbrook agreed. In exchange for their logistical support and permission to march through the kingdom, Glenbrook asked Esfrost for joint governance of the source. On the day the war began, the duchy's troops proceeded through Glenbrook and declared war on Hyzant as they rushed the Holy State's capital. Hyzant barely had time to close its gates, and the goddess's shield protected them from the onslaught. But their forces were unprepared, leaving them no choice but to take the defensive against Esfrost's iron might. In hopes of turning their position around, the Hierophant sought the aid of a clan that made their home in the northeastern reaches of modern-day Glenbrook. They called themselves House Wolffort. Simon, lord of their house, heard the Hierophant's plea and made way for the Holy State with a small but elite force of warriors. Their bold attack broke through the duchy's encirclement and forced them to retreat to the border. This effectively destroyed Esfrost's hopes of an early resolution. The exploits of Simon Wolffort changed history. From that point forth, the Wolfforts, which had been no more than a small clan in the area, became key in altering the course of the war. Part 2. The fighting came to a standstill with Esfrost and Glenbrook on one side and Hyzant and Wolffort on the other. The war affected not only those on the battlefield, but all across Norzelia. Before long, the salt reserves that the duchy had amassed in anticipation of the war began to dwindle, and they realized they would not last much longer. In Hyzant, the Hierophant succumbed to illness. The Sanley Seven quarreled over who would succeed the Holy One, and the city descended into chaos. It is rumored that during the turmoil, the Roselle revolted and fled the source. Nothing was made official, but the rumor was likely true given the subsequent state of the city and the army's struggles. Despite the growing fatigue of both parties, all nations involved were reluctant to retreat out of fear of public backlash, so the war dragged on. Battles small and large were waged, the fight at the renowned Citadel of the Sands among them. Details of the damages are still unknown to this day. The people and soldiers of all nations suffered greatly over the 30 years that came to be known as the Salt Iron War. So that was the story of how Frederica's mother managed to escape Hyzant, just for one thing. So it was actually during that battle, after the fight, I guess, when the Holy One had succumbed to illness, and they used that as their opportunity to flee. Very interesting. Wow. Okay, so I mean, picking up on that type of information, you know, it's very ironic that once again, Glenbrook and Esfrost are coming together, just like they did in that 30-year war. I mean, history, you know, there is that quote, history repeats itself. I'm just hoping that isn't one of these times. Okay, so after long last, we are going to head into the Tellior streets now, because I don't think there's anything going on at Esfrost. Good, I don't want to deal with them. Word of Esfrost's invasion of the Crown City reaches Silvio of House Tellior.
The Crown City is under attack? By whom?
Esfrost, it appears. They say the Archduke himself leads the charge.
Gustadolf. Then this will be no mere skirmish.
What shall we do, my lord?
Protecting the royal family is House Wolfort's duty. Let us bide our time and see how they fare.
You would not make for the capital, my lord? Our kingdom's very fate hangs in the balance.
Which is all the more reason why we must not act rashly. Esfrost is too strong a foe for House Telior to face on our own. For now, tighten our defenses and bring me what information you can.
Yes, my lord.
You know, I can't exactly argue with Silvio on this one. If you are from a smaller kingdom, I mean, you're taking on, like, the biggest army led by the Duchy of Esfrost. I really can't oppose that idea that he has, just to strengthen the defenses of his particular area. I mean, I also see just providing his support for the castle too. I do see that, but he also needs to focus on his home first. I think in this type of case, you know, if you're the ruler of your house, you need to do what's best for you and your kingdom. You know, I mean, he's basically like, hey, we're not getting invaded. That's the Wolfort's duty. So we're going to leave it to them. And we're just going to sit here and in case of attack on us, at least we'll be prepared. So I'm actually not mad at all or upset or oppositional towards what Silvio's thinking here. So let's move without further ado into the heart of today. At Whiteholm Castle's exploration, Serenoa uses hidden tunnels beneath the castle to sneak in and save the royal family.
Secret tunnels beneath the castle. Who'd have thought?
None but the royal family knew of this secret. They were built as a last resort, should the worst come to pass. Doesn't appear anyone else has been down here before us. Father must still be within the castle.
Along with a host of enemy soldiers, they appear to have breached the gates.
It truly is Esfrost. But I do not understand why.
We will seek understanding later. For now, we must protect His Majesty and the royal family.
Aye. We'll smuggle him to safety one way or another.
We must take care. The castle has fallen into our enemy's hands.
I mustn't charge carelessly into the enemy's blade. Time to find out what happened here. The mining venture brought peace to the realm, and my betrothal to Frederica ties our nations together. Why would Esfrost commit such senseless violence? Alright, there's something here by the fountain, I think. Yep. 2 poison recovery pellets. And there's something here in the middle. A large HP recovery pellet. And 600 gold. Awesome. I agree with Serenoa. I think that, you know, they did put Frederica and Serenoa together as a way to try to tighten the bonds between Glenbrook and Esfrost. But it turns out that is not the case at all. It's quite on the contrary. You're still here! I needed the extra meow for good luck and good measure, okay? A stone, okay. Now to examine the other body. Esfrosti armor. What could possibly drive them to invade us? I think we're about to figure out something that might even just shock everyone watching, because, to be honest with you... Oh, there's a mage from Glenbrook here. We're too late. Nearly all the soldiers had perished. What could Esfrost possibly want with our kingdom? Something just tells me that it could just be that Gustadolf is really, really power hungry right now, or that he's just lost his damn mind, because that's what's really coming to me. Do any of the Kingsguard yet remain? If they've all been slain, I fear all is lost. They're like as not to be in the throne room. Invasions seek to remove the head of state. Move quickly. The king needs us. Hold fast, brave soldier. Pray, tell us what happened here.
Gustadolf. He stormed the castle.
No! This can't be. What would drive him to do such a thing? He's drawn his last breath. Man, this game has taken a very dark turn. What drove my brother to such madness? 2 Firestones, okay. We might be seeing some Ice Mages coming up. Okay, okay, so we cannot go beyond this point. Okay. So everything's gonna be within these corridors here.
House Wolford, defenders of the crown, you've come in our hour of need. I thank you for your loyalty.
'Tis my duty as lord of a high house. Come, brother, let us defend our kingdom. Stay strong, good man. Rest in peace. You have more than earned it. You learned about Glenbrook's 3 high houses. Or just learned how a game can be super dark watching people die right in front of you. Glenbrook's 3 high houses, Wolfort, Falks, and Tellior, are charged with the kingdom's protection. They were once a single clan. Now divided, House Wolfort is their de facto leader, and as such, bears the greatest responsibility. Well, that explains a lot, considering Silvio's reaction saying that the Wolforts are in charge of this. Now I'm starting to wonder if maybe just the more people, the merrier. The emergency gates have barred the way forward. We must secure this area and press onward by force. That they've made it this far into the castle bodes ill. We must hurry. Okay. Before we get into convictions, with what looks like Roland and Eredor, I'm gonna do one last surf of the area as per usual. Oh, there is something right here. Added commemoration ceremony program to the notes. Oh, okay. Okay. This is the power of looking around. What is this? Oh, this could be huge. Opening remarks. Remarks from each nation. Holy State of Hyzant, Minister Lila Viscraft of the Saintly Seven. The Grand Duchy of Esfrost, Prime Minister Talus Esfrost. Kingdom of Glenbrook, Lord Serenoa Wolfort. Representative of the 3 high houses. Host remarks. Kingdom of Glenbrook, His Royal Majesty King Ragnar Glenbrook. Merriment, tourney, award ceremony, closing remarks. So this is what actually happened, like, all prior to the tourney. I mean, the tourney was number 5, but still, just what happened? Because I remember at least after we battled Sir Maxwell, there was kind of like a fade to black, and all of a sudden, you know, there was, you know, and then Serenoa woke up because he had just been beaten pretty badly in that battle, and yet it makes me wonder what exactly transpired in that time. Okay, I think we're good. I think I've explored pretty much everything. So let's go ahead and we're gonna talk to Eredor first, because this would be the most sensitive thing for Roland. So let's talk to him first. The only bodies here belong to the Royal Guard. The nobles themselves must have fled. It makes me sick thinking such cowards serve our king. We cannot expect them to fight. My only concern is that their money does not fall into the hands of our enemies. Let us consider their duties to the crown fulfilled and leave it at that. For the moment, we all share a common goal. Survival. We can have our revenge if we survive. Oh man, none of these really sound like... I mean, I agree with Eredor. I mean, you know, in a sense, you know, he's saying that they don't have patriotism for their kingdom as at the first sign of bad times, they are out. They are leaving. But their money is a potential concern because I know that Esfrost got hit the hardest financially because they lost the most people during the war. And also, they were spending more money just getting salt imported because of Hyzant's long distance away. So it's possible they could be after the money, but something tells me this isn't something so minuscule as money. There's something definitely more involved. And this just seems very passive. Let's just let bygones be bygones. Yeah, no, not in this situation. But I'm also not a person that believes in revenge, personally. I just feel like that none of these responses. But it is true, we are looking just to survive right now. But yet, we're the ones that are going to probably do the fighting, part of the fighting anyway. So, this just seems like I'm trying to defend the nobles for fleeing, and he says that he's mad about it. Ugh. A part of me wants to go with what I think, and a part of me wants to go with what Eredor would think, that survival is just the most common thing, but to expect of people, especially if they can't fight. But what I would say in this situation is that survival is the common goal. I mean, money is definitely important, but if that's what Serenoa would be concerned about, is just their money, then I think that he's thinking this a little bit more in a dull way.
Truer words were never spoken. Lead the way, lad. We've king and country to save.
We'll save the king, yes, but the kingdom will be another matter. We cannot defeat Esfrost alone.
Aye, right you are. Got caught up in the moment there.
Good. Okay, I'm glad that he agreed with me, because survival is the most important thing in times of desperation. The enemy's already deep within the castle. They've made it look so simple. We must hasten to my father's side. We know not what the enemy wants. Let us remain adaptable to whatever awaits us. As lord of a high house, I swear to you I shall protect the king, come what may. Pray, hold. You are of royal blood, which may make you a target as well. No, I can already tell you he will not like this response. I mean, he has fought tooth and nail by our side for longer than what even this game probably says to us. I mean, Roland and Serenoa are the best of friends. I would hate to be like, after all these battles you've done, let's not make you a part of this one that, you know, involves your family. I'm going to say here in this situation, as Lord of a High House, I swear to you I will protect the king. It is a blessing to have you at my side. I've never felt such courage. The King's Guard and Sir Maxwell will be with Father. I have every hope they yet live. Yet every second counts. We must make haste to the throne room. Okay, I believe I have done everything. Okay, without further ado, let's make haste to the throne room. We'll learn nothing more here. We must keep moving. Okay, I have got some preparations to do because the recommended level is 7 and our roster is looking like 6 at best, but most of our units are at 5. So I will definitely be doing a lot of training prior to next episode. But luckily I've got a tavern battle that I could do, and hopefully I can get some units to level 7 so we can be on equal forces with them. Wow, a lot happened in this episode. I would love to hear all of your opinions on this matter. Leave them in the comments if you are interested in giving your opinion. In this particular scenario, what do you think, as of now, with the information that we know, what do you think Aesfrost is after? At this point, it looks like history is repeating itself just based off of what I read from the Salt Iron War, that Glenbrook and Aesfrost became allies against Hyzant for their monopoly on salt, and then out of a desperate plea from the Hierophant, they asked for the Wolffort domain to help to assist them. So these two are allies on the east, and these two are allies on the allies on the west. But still, what seems even more weird is that if they aligned their interests at one thing, now if they're enemies, and then Patriot, the whole thing with that, it's crazy. This is a web of just mystery right now. Everything's just, I guess you could say it's all just up in smoke. Like right up here. That's what our answers are looking like. Alright, well I will see you guys all prepared for battle in the next episode. This was Skymer, and I hope that you all have a fantastic day. Bye guys!